pack or it's Benadryl to make the rash go away. And as soon as they're sure that you can breathe properly, you're out. They zoom and broom you. So that was a little suspect yesterday. And you also have to look at the whole back picture. Within the last month, she had canceled 2 other concert dates. There was one last week on April the 7th that she canceled because she supposedly had the flu. The day before, she was spotted in New York City, an absolute emotional wreck, crying over her dog that had died. Just inconsolable in the middle of the sidewalk, and then suddenly the next concert date the very next day is canceled because she's sick, which kind of raised some eyebrows and some speculation. So now here we are a week later, and she's supposedly sick again, and now she's fully hospitalized. She did tweet a little while ago saying that they have yet to release her, so now she's on day 2 of this hospitalization, and so tonight's concert is also canceled. There's also a Twitter war going on between the person handling her tour and the guy that is supposed to be her producer named Mike. And it was to the tune of, you could have killed her, and you shouldn't have done this, and you're a horrible person, and leading to speculation that there's a whole lot more going on. I mean, we know Miley likes her drugs, and up until this point, it's been Molly and weed, but there's been some rumors that she's been hitting some heavy-duty stuff because she's emotionally just wrecked between the messed up family, and also the dog was sentimental because it was the last thing that she had from Liam Hemsworth. So when the dog died, it was the last connecting piece to the boyfriend that she thought she was going to marry, and it's part of why she cracked.
Wow.
So it's messy. And
then add on to all of that, not to cut you off, boy, that is quite a list on her shoulders, but what age girl are we still? I know she's a figment of the Dakota when she was a kid and on television forever, but we're still talking about a young adult. What is her age?
She's 20-ish, and you're right. I mean, this is a young girl that has a lot to try to deal with, and she's young. She hasn't grown enough to know how to handle really big things, let alone a series of really big things. And she's surrounded by people that just hand her whatever she wants and, lead her in directions that maybe are not the best. So she doesn't really have a grounding force right there. The family doesn't ground her. The friends clearly, they're partying with her. So she doesn't have a go-to person, at least clearly a go-to person that's going to really help her.
Now, should anybody who follows this from not show business, but normal, you got a kid, and you got a kid that's hitting their teens, one night spray painting their head red, the next night crying about they did it. You get this often, Cate, this happens in our household a little bit. I'm going to get my hair cut really short. It's going to look great. Guess what happens on Monday? Oh, my God, why did you stop me? Why did you stop me? And you're like, honey, you're growing up. This is how it goes. But why didn't you stop me? Because you're growing up. Daddy got stupid haircuts. So is there a little bit of they consistently now are put through the Michael Jackson gauntlet? You're famous. You make a lot of money. There's money in your psychological problems.
I think there's something to it, and I think they start off too with parents that first they're parents, then they're managers, then they're controlling their money, then they're their new best friends. Then mom and dad are also profiting off of this kid. And so you have to question, are they really looking out for the kid's best interest?
Now, this
or are
father,
they looking to keep the family up and running?
That's right. Now, let's talk about this father. He's a celebrity. So he's Billy Ray Cyrus, right? And he's on television many times. Jay Leno, last time I saw, saying, it's uncomfortable. Your dad, being a dad, your daughter's little boobies are out there. He goes, but it's, what do you call it? She's an artist, Jay. He goes, what do you do with a boy artist when he pours, green paint all over himself and stands there in Greenwich Village? Say, oh, well, what a terrific artist. He goes, so my daughter's doing a thing about sexuality and the mind. In other words, an artist sees this easy to see. What were the Beatles about? Meeting girls. What did the Rolling Stones say? They were tired of the Beatles being polite to girls. It was time to say, I didn't get no satisfaction. I didn't get no. So the artist having trouble with teens and then using the trouble of your teens as the content of your success. Brilliant or dysfunctional? Both, right? Both.
Probably both. Yeah, absolutely. I think if you cannot get tangled in the dysfunction, and for a while it did seem like Miley was walking that line. Right after the VMAs, we thought, oh my gosh, that career is done. They have to do something. And a couple weeks later, it started to become pretty clear that this girl did know what she was doing. However, I think it's really hard to walk that borderline dysfunctional line and still stay on the right side of it. It's really tough. And if you don't have the people around you that you need, then it's tougher yet.
Did I run this by you in our last interview? Because if not, I've been waiting to say this to you to get your reaction. I'm watching the recent documentary on Robert Downey Jr. long after his problems. And the director says that they interview, I loved him when he was all messed up. He made great movies for us, and he was definitely having trouble, but the acting jumped off the screen. They said, this Iron Man thing sucks. We can't watch it. It's not him. He's happy as a clam. So what? Now, is this always going to be the story? You get this girl tamed down. She's nothing. You have to have this kind of wild animal experience of the teens, because if it's Lindsay, if it's Brittany, if it's Christina, they're all the same thing. They're all competing in a male world. They all have to be 10 times as talented to get what they got. After they're talented, nobody gives a crap about them. They're a commodity, as you point out, even to their parents. Why shouldn't they roar, do damage, and be just like Johnny Depp and everybody else who ever busted up a room, Leo DiCaprio? They'll be okay. We can stop fretting. We don't fret when we put them in 99 million things and they make $1 billion. No one frets about their exhaustion factor, their mental health. They fret now because she's busting a few bottles and making people nervous and doing some drugs. Get over it. Lenny Bruce was 60 years ago. Artists do drugs. It is hard to be an... I'm sorry, I'm making it like I'm trying to make you believe this, Cate. Did you? I'm like, stop yelling at Cate. The whole studio said, stop yelling at Cate. She didn't do anything.
The interesting thing, though, and it's not just in Hollywood. I mean, it's musicians, it's comedians. Truthfully, the most broken people are the most brilliant artists in any capacity. They just are. They're deeper than just the surface level pretty, with the right shirt and the right hair and the right bra. They're deeper than that, and they just kind of get it and they can connect. And so the most broken people are always the ones that resonate. The problem with that is that they're really broken.
And you get to see more Philip Hoffman. And Kurt Cobain's been dead for 20 years. And, I'm so much older than all my guests now that I love it when I go through stuff and the guests haven't had a chance. But I'm just going to tell you, I was there on the air the night John Lennon died. Okay. Did John Lennon induce his own death? I don't know. You want to shake hands with every clown? Do you got to say hello to everybody? Did you move to New York City where they kill people every 2 seconds, John? Is it a city full of guns in the 70s with organized crime and gunning down? Are you a big celebrity? Do people go nuts over celebrity and act really stupid and then do dangerous things around celebrity, John? You never heard of that, right? So, in other words, this is the world, fellas. I hate it. But it is the way it works. I think you did it better than me, because I'm long-winded talk show host and you're a brilliant editor, journalist from Celeb Dirty Laundry, Kate Meighan. You did it beautifully. It is the alchemy. This is the alchemy. You want great talent, you're going to have crazy people give it to you. So what's wrong with that? If we can't grow up and live with that, Cate, is there any hope for the future?
It is what it is. And truthfully, it's how it always has been. We just didn't have the means to know every move they make every single day because of Twitter and Instagram and paparazzi. People didn't know 20, 30 years ago. You caught a magazine once a week and that gave you an indication what might be happening. Or you tuned into like E! News or something like that to get your daily fix.
You got it.
We didn't have the play-by-play like we do now. So every little thing is under a microscope.
CelebDirtyLaundry.com, Celeb, C-E-L-E-B, CelebDirtyLaundry.com. My thing with Colbert goes on because, Cate, did I confess this to you? I don't know why you have to listen to all this nonsense I want to tell you, but it's because I'm going to ask you a question. There's a question behind this confession. In 1982, I had just driven back across country after going to work for a radio station with a young enough owner that his financing fell through 30 days and we all had to come back to and I was back in Miami. And I sat there, I turned on the TV, and David Letterman comes out, and it's the morning show. And I now feel I'm not alone. I've never felt like there was anybody. My mom had Jack Parr and Johnny Carson. Everybody had somebody. And then the Beatles were everybody. But this was a dude. This was a guy. This a little bit older than me. I was like, okay, all right, wow, this is. And then it ends up the other day over. And Stephen Colbert has made great success with his character. But he said, we'll find out how my personality is. But then here's the thing I heard since. He talked to, not Frank Sesno, the other guy on CNN who does the ethics and journalism, that guy. And he went on that show. And he told the ethics and journalism guy, you know, my show is a half an hour. He goes, how do you do it? He goes, I get angry, and then for 6 hours we try to be funny about it. I get angry, and for 6 hours we try to make fun of. I said, well, wait a second. Maybe I could get behind this guy. I'm on the air 6 hours a day, angry as a pistol. I am fuming, smoking hot, angry, like inappropriate in the office, angry. That's how I program every show. And this will scare you. I've been on the air 39 years. This is scary. My first argument was that Linda Ronstadt and Patti Smith were getting screwed by Rolling Stone being corrupt toward male rock stars. I was screaming about that in 1975. I was yelling. This is crap on an FM station, pounding the table. Yeah. So I don't know. I love when you come on because I think you get this. And
I do.
Why? Why are you and I able to get it, yet there's some social resistance? I'm asking you as a journalist over the years, what is your surmise about the resistance of accepting these difficult truths that keep proving themselves to us in public? What is the resistance in your opinion?
Because people want to see what they want to see, and they want to believe the fluffy side of things, or they want to believe things to be the way that they think they should be. You know, it's not pretty, and this industry is not pretty, and it doesn't matter if you're Colbert or if you're you or if you're me. It's not pretty, and you're dealing with a whole bunch of characters that you know, breathe in and out every single day and each and every year, and they're all messed up. At root, these people are all messed up because we're all imperfect and we all have these issues. And so these issues collide all over the place, and you have part of the press that tries to whitewash it, you know, like Miley in the hospital today with her antibiotic allergic reaction. And then you have the other side of the press that's hanging looking for the real dirt, and when they collide in the middle, it's messy.
Boy, you really know how to do that. You know what I heard in that answer? You're probably a great editor. I would love to see you chop up a piece and make it sharp, and then the person who wrote it goes, hey, there's nothing left almost. And you go, yeah, I edited it for you. Oh, you're terrific. All right, Kate Meighan, CelebDirtyLaundry.com. It's always a pleasure. This segment and all of our segments, every time you join us, there'll be a YouTube that we're making a nice one of. And right now, this was a great visit. Thanks a lot. It'll be posted by later this afternoon with all nice little write-up on Celeb Dirty Laundry. Great website.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you kidding? Thank you. Anytime, Kate, I know your last statement will prove true. The human race and its bizarro behavior will keep bringing us together.
Absolutely.
That's what I feel. I feel they'll never let us down, right? They will never let us down. Kate Meighan, CelebDirtyLaundry.com. She's a great editor.
Ed Tyll Show.
She writes all the big stories for them, and she edits the other stories, and I like perspective. I love context. We always get that with Kate. Kate Meighan. It's CelebDirtyLaundry.com on the Ed Tyll Show. And you know what? Why not? Why not just get to the answers? Doesn't that happen when I speak with her? I didn't even give her the official release of my marriage to Janet Yellen. Wow. That's how, now I'm starting to second guess my feelings toward Janet. Because if everything can just go journalistic like that, maybe I'm not really able to love. Maybe that's my thing. Now it's all coming through to me. You know what? I'm realizing this right live on the air. Oh my God, on Ustream, Starcom, YouTube. Oh God, even my neighbors are pounding on the. And how could I hear that with the soundproofing?
We want the glory, but we lack the wind.
are fascinated by human behavior, and that's why Kate Meighan is a great guest. She knows what she's saying. She knows what she's writing. You got to be sharp to follow humans, because humans will deliberately mislead you. Politicians, celebrities. I mean, think about how I felt all my life until I met Janet Yellen, and she changed the way I see everything. It's the Ed Tyll Show. Look forward to our next visit with Kate Meighan. You just wait. The headlines will get us back together. In the meantime, keep up with Kate Meighan at celebdirtylaundry.com.